Good afternoon, Year 4. So, over the last couple of days, you have been looking at searching using Google to find information. You might have had a chance to make your own quiz too. Now, what we're going to look at is keeping safe online now. So, one of the things that we are going to focus on today is passwords. So, nobody in our class should have any social media because you are not old enough yet. But I know some of you have Xbox accounts, for example, or you might use Minecraft, things like that, things where you need a password. And again, it's about keeping safe, making sure your parents or carers or people you live with know what you are using and making sure that you are using it safely and making sure you are spending an appropriate amount of time. So not all day on the Xbox, okay, thinking about making sure you are doing other things as well. So the first question is, what is a password? So use this picture to help you if you are unsure, giving you a bit of a clue. It's got a log. What is a password? I want you to pause the video now and write down what you think a password is. Okay. So we're going to have a look at why we use passwords, then we're going to have a look at what a password is. So, why do we use passwords? Now, to stop people from seeing our information, to stop people using our accounts, to make sure only you can change your information. So this is really important. So we use a password to do all of these things to protect how we are using the internet. So here we go. This is what a password is. Passwords stop people from getting into your account, but they also stop people from seeing any private information that might be in your account. When you make an account, you might have your name, address, phone number, email, or even bank details stored there. So a password is something that you would usually make up. So it might be, we might have year 4, 1, 2, 3, exclamation mark. Okay. Now, this one is very important because I know that some of you, if you are doing gaming online, you will have probably your parents or somebody who you live with at home, their bank details to buy new games and things. And that's important. If you have a password that's really easy to duplicate, then somebody may be able to get onto your account, and we don't want that. So if you have a password like 1234 or ABCD, I think that's going to be quite easy for somebody to work out. So you need to think of something unique. Now, lots of people do their date of birth, but that is also quite easy to find because if you put your name, address, your date of birth, how old you are, and you've got your birthday. So my birthday is the 18th of February 1993. If I have my password as 1993 or 1802, that's going to be obvious. Someone might be able to work that out. So I need to think of a password which is really, really unique. So, which would you prefer a stranger to see? Would you prefer to see Sarah Bailey with a picture, London, and sarah.lbailey@email.mail? Or would you prefer them to see Sarah Bailey, no picture, unknown location, unknown email? Have a think. Okay, so I'd like to think that most of you would have said this one because it tells you very, very little information. So, what I want you to think about first of all is how you communicate online and why you communicate that way. So, for example, I know that some of the girls, I think Sarah, Vera, Coco, Heidi, Janelle, some of you have been having Zoom calls that you've set up on your own, or some of you have been talking over Purple Mash on the email. So I might say one way I communicate online is Zoom calls. Okay, so think about it. At the moment the teacher's been communicating by Zoom call. Remember, communicate is just how you are speaking to each other, keeping in touch. So we've been having Zoom calls. Why have we been having Zoom calls this way? Because at the moment we are unable to meet up to have staff meetings. So because we can't meet up, we are doing it online so we can still keep in touch. I might say I also communicate online by Facebook. So nobody in our class should be on Facebook. I'm sure you all know how to use it though. I might say I keep online via email. So Miss Wilson can email me and say, "Hi Miss Gilmore, please can you complete this work for me?" And I can reply, "Why do we keep an email? It is easy to keep in touch and you can share with others." So for example, if I want to email Miss Watson, Miss Sykes, Miss Henderson and Miss Wilson all in one go, I can send an email with everybody in the email. So I want you to think about the ways in which you communicate online and why you communicate that way. Now, you might not use the internet at all, and that's okay. So you might want to ask your parents or your carers. You might say, "Mum, how do you communicate online?" She might say, "Well, I use my email and I use Zoom calls because I'm not at work at the moment." So find out first of all. Right, your next activity now is to have a look at the best password which you think and how to keep your information secure. Now, you have got the whole worksheet in your pack. I've just put a little bit on here. So, which password do I think is going to be safest? Well, I absolutely know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is not going to be a great password. Now, when you are given a password, quite often they ask you to use a capital letter. They ask you to use numbers. And usually it's some sort of a symbol. So you might have an exclamation mark, you might have an asterisk. Okay, so for example, instead of saying Miss Gilmore, I could have capital letter Miss Gilmore 7321 exclamation mark star. That would be a lot more difficult for somebody to work out. And this number I've chosen here is completely random. It's not my date of birth, it's not the number of house that I live at, it's not the end of my phone number, it's just completely random. What you need to think about as well with your password is storing it somewhere safely, but not so that somebody else can find it. Okay, so the next part is name the 2 simplest ways to keep information in your account secure. So you are going to continue completing the worksheet based on what we have just learned.